Take Five, quite a lot of people know it as one of the hit records that Dave Brubeck made. That itself referred to the musician's shorthand for taking 5 minutes or taking a break. So the idea behind Take Five is for a group of professional jazz musicians to be able to take a breather, to take stock of their career.
There's a lot to the music industry. It's all covered by Take Five. We get to meet all sorts of experts and people from within all the different fields, and you would never get that opportunity. In fact, you'd be so far away from that opportunity that you'd be making a phone call to somebody that had never heard of you and that you didn't know, and suddenly there they are sitting on a settee in front of you, asking you to talk to them.
I feel like I kind of walked in one person and walked out another. I was working with a project which was Trio BD. That was at a point where we felt like we had the music together. And this came along at just the right time because I felt like all those blanks were filled in. And then at the end of the experience, it was like I had a really clear idea of what I was going to do. We had a plan to stick to.
In the Take Five program, I quite quickly started to broaden the remit of kind of projects and ideas that I had. And it was kind of weird. It was almost a catalyst as being a part of it for taking more control of myself as an artist. I left the record company I was with, became independent as a producer as well as a musician, and started, to gain access to things like funding. And some of the knowledge that I gained in the process really helped me to grasp what was necessary next. And I think it is a big part actually in kind of me making some of the decisions that have got me to this point now.
The Take Five thing gave me a moment to reflect. It really kind of stopped me in my tracks for a second to really reflect on what I actually really wanted to do, rather than just going through the motions, which a lot of jazz musicians and artists and composers can get stuck in, because you have to make a living. And when something like that comes along, it does actually make you think, well, what do I really want to do? And if the sky is the limit, then where would I go? And so I did think that, and then I got signed off the back of that. So yeah, I think Take Five definitely had a good hand in propelling me towards being signed by Decca.
When I was at Take Five, I was just about to release my first album, and through being there, I realised the importance of talking to people and to basically just sell yourself and to be clear about who you are, what you do.
I feel like I've been exposed to so much of the music industry on the course that gives a much deeper understanding of it, and it certainly helps to realise that all those people are just people.
I was living in Cardiff at the time, and so I had very few contacts in London, and that connection really opened kind of a whole new network for me, and I met a huge amount of people that would never have met otherwise. Musicians and people in the industry.
I think the thing that sparked the working relationship I have with Sue Ming was the songwriting workshop. And I said to Martel, do I have to do this? Because I'm not a songwriter, I don't write songs, I'm never gonna, he said, well, it's part of this course, and you're obliged to do it. So I'm like, okay. So I went down, and Sue Ming and I got paired off, and there was just something quite, magical happened about it. And so we created this little song, and I thought, this can work.
Having met and had the chance to speak to John's sermon of the specifics of being a musician and getting some insight into how he's developed over time, how he saw himself when he was my age and how he sees himself now, the progression of his his life and his career. I think that's been really useful actually.
Well, Take Five seems to have occurred for me at an appropriate moment in my life. Things do seem to be converging. Take Five is a positive part of that. It gives a bit of confidence as well. It's a kind of a validation of where I am in my career.
Take Five is an amazing scheme because what it also does is creates this really strong network of artists who are coming on together. And I think what Take Five gives our artists is the space and time and a real belief in the work that they're going to do in the future.